As the nation's economic woes continue, Alachua County government is facing the reality of shrinking tax revenues and the necessity of cutting budgets, raising millage rates, or both. Hard choices need to be made to rise to the challenge of getting through tough times. And one way Alachua County has prepared to make those tough decisions is by putting some of its citizens in the shoes of county commissioners as they prepare a budget. It's called Community Conversations, an interactive budget exercise which asks the public what matters to them and what decisions they would make if they were a commissioner.
Community requires conversations. We're going to have to make reductions in programs and services that are being offered to citizens, and we wanted to invite citizens to come and have a conversation. We need that dialogue that how are we going to continue in face of recession and declining economy to continue to build a quality community here. That requires conversations, so that's what we're all about, and we'll continue doing this over the course of time to try to make sure that the public knows we are available and we are listening.
And many citizens not only want to be heard, they also want to learn.
I try to participate as well as I can and stay informed, and this is one way of doing it. This was an excellent session tonight. I believe we went at fast pace through some of the processes that the County Commission has to go through. I believe it was worthwhile. The technique that was used was very helpful in understanding the complexity of where the county budget comes from, where the money comes from, and where it doesn't come from.
This is the third year the county has held the community conversation events. Here's how it works. First, attendees take part in a live electronic poll, gathering both demographic and opinion information. The information is gathered anonymously using electronic clicker devices to encourage candid answers and to ensure participants' privacy. Information gathered is later tallied and shared with the County Commission.
This year we've expanded it to include some service level conversation, performance of our services, what things are they willing to do without, what things do they want to add, what things do they want to see us keep in the future. We ask questions as to what citizens might want to see change in the future, and we're going to share that with the Commission at an upcoming meeting, let them know what the citizens said.
Citizens then break into small discussion groups and are asked to answer a series of questions. What do you love most about Alachua County that you would never want to lose? When was the last time you participated in a community event, and what was it? What item would you choose to represent your county in a time capsule, and why? County staff then gives a brief overview of the county budget and finances before attendees break into groups again for a budget simulation exercise. The exercise and the multifaceted makeup of the groups stimulate discussion and ideas.
We had an excellent turnout tonight representing a lot of different groups, and we're looking forward to a diverse group. The more diversity you have in a group like this from citizens from different part of the county, from both Gainesville and also the smaller communities, the more diverse and rich the discussion. And that's what we're really looking for, is the diversity that exists within Alachua County and in terms of opinions and needs, and also the possibilities of how we can make a greater county.
I was very interested to find out the input from the public on the questions that are being asked by the county manager in his budget message, having serious conversations about the direction our county is going to grow. So I was very interested in hearing the opinions and the diverse answers from the citizens in Alachua County.
I think that's great to have an opportunity to talk to other people you wouldn't otherwise meet.
The groups are given $50,000 in play budget money. The money is color-coded to represent each of the county's core services. The assignment, to cut $5,000 from the county's core budget.
I was extremely surprised at just how involved I got myself into it, like it was really a budget that we were trying to balance.
To simulate real life, the group has thrown some unexpected curves.
I just needed to let you know that the cost of inmate medical that is in your gray part of the budget sheet has gone up. We had some catastrophic incidents, and so we need to add $1,000 to that section, meaning that from your core service sections, you have to cut $3,700 instead of $2,700. So you've got about 7 more minutes, and inmate medical is the reason we're having to shift that budget.
Being a lifelong resident of Alachua County, I realized that in the past, maybe in my mind, I've thought, gee whiz, it seems so simple to me, and then once you get involved, you realize this is a much more complicated process. I have a new sense of admiration for what they do and realize it's not an easy job.
There are no easy cuts. Anything anything you're going to cut is going to have real-life consequences and reduce services and take services away from people. It's going to affect real-life people, which is what you may not realize just looking at the numbers on the page.
A lot of your budget decisions are already made for you. That the constitutional, state law, a lot of stuff is just, they've already told you what you're going to do, and you've got to figure out how to do it effectively and make it work.
Each group finalizes their budgets and budget cuts, and then their decisions are shared with the other groups and ultimately with the county commission.
Each table that did the budget exercise came up with some different results about how you go about cutting the budget. And I think we'll be taking this information and taking it to the county commission.
In addition, citizens are asked to write down any specific ideas they have for services, programs, or projects which they think would improve the county, and any specific ideas for spending cuts they believe the county commission should consider.
We also, as you see on the wall behind me, have some ideas, direct responses to the boards to 2 critical questions. We've got their written comments, and that will all be compiled together and be discussed with the board, and it'll be available for the public to see as well.
The Community Conversations program has been successful in meaningfully engaging citizens in the decision-making process. And Community Conversations participants, both citizens and county staff, agree. An involved citizenry is essential to navigating the rough waters of the current economy.
The importance of this process is first just kind of helping to build community and helping people get exposed to the budget and what it really says and the process that was used to try to finalize the budget. It gives them also direct input into the county commission. We'll take a report from each of the meetings, combine it together, and give it to the Board of County Commissioners. Then the county commissioners will be able to use that, deliberate on the results of this information and their own experiences. And again, they have their own contacts. We hold public hearings on the budget, so they will take all that information and try to come up with a final budget.
The one thing that's going to help the commission is an informed electorate. I think as people become more and more informed, then they're going to be more willing to make some of those sacrifices have to be made. And it's just like the manager commented that, you know, we only have so much, so you tell me what you want me to do.
What I said last year was listened to and maybe even applied within county government, and so I felt like if I came back this year I would have that same effect, and you know, that's the basic way a democracy works. We have something to say and it comes to fruition.
I think this was a very worthwhile project, and I think that the other sessions are probably going to be very similar. And it was interesting hearing the diverse opinions from everybody. I think there's one goal that I think everybody shares, which is let's have good government at the least cost possible.
It was community education at its finest, I believe, and I was happy to participate.
It's an active county, it's diverse, and it's fun to get involved.
We just need to kind of stay in this together. We often talk about it being like a raft on a whitewater rapids, and we need to try to keep people in the boat and get to the end of the stream. And that's what we're trying to do as a community by encouraging people to talk about what's important and to keep them involved in the productive solutions to the problems that we're facing.